Learners, today on 18th of May 2020, we have come up with yet another offline video pertaining to class 12th in subject information practices, and the topic is concept of open source software. In this topic, we will understand what is software, what is proprietary software, what is open source software, and also free and open source software. This topic is presented to you by Ankur Pandita, teacher, BHSS Drugmulla. Now, before discussing open and free source software, let us discuss what is software. Software is a set of instructions, data, or programs used to operate computers and execute specific tasks. So, softwares are those programs that operate computers and execute specific tasks. Every software has a source code which is used to run, copy, or improve the software. What is source code? Source code is actual code in which software is written, which is used to run, copy, or improve the software. So source code is an essential part of the software. Source code is the actual code in which software is code behind the software. In short, the code behind the software is the source code. Now look, what is proprietary software? Proprietary software, also known as closed source software, is a non-free computer software for which the software's publisher or another person retains intellectual rights before usually copyright of the source code. So proprietary software is a closed source software. That is, the source code of the software is not granted to anyone except its owner. That is, the software's publisher retains its rights or the copyright of the source code. The source code of the software is not shared to anyone. It becomes the ownership of the particular owner. So proprietary software is the ownership of a particular owners who can distribute or improve the software. Nobody except the permission of the owner can run, copy, or improve the software. Now look, what is open source software? Our today's topic is open source software. Open source software is a type of computer software in which source code is released under a license in which the copyright holder grant users the right to study, change, and distribute the software to anyone for any purpose. Open source software is a prominent example of open collaboration. Now, what is open source software? Open source software, the owner of the computer software grants a license to individuals which can study, change, and distribute the software. That is, owners gives rights to certain people or certain company to study, change, and distribute the software for any purpose. This is a prominent example of open collaboration. So in open source software, the owner of the software or the publisher of the software under a license gives copyright to certain individuals which can study, change, and distribute the software to anyone for any purpose. Now, what is free and open source software? Free and open source software is a software that can be classified as both free and open source software. That is, FOSS, free and open source software is both. It is both free and open source software. That is, anyone is freely licensed. No, anyone around the world is freely licensed to use, copy, study, and change the software in any way. Now we are getting what is free and open source software. Free and open source software is both free as well as open source. That is, anyone around the world, any person around the world is freely licensed. It is free all over the world. You, me, and anyone around the world can use, copy, study, and change the software in any way. And the source code is openly shared to anybody around the world, so that people are encouraged to voluntarily improve the design of the software. This type of free and open source software is freely distributed around the world, so that the software is fastly improved, its design is improved, its features are developed. This type of collaboration has resulted in massive capacity building of the software. Free and open source operating systems are widely utilized today, powering millions of servers, desktop, smartphone, and other devices. We have the prominent example of operating system, that is Linux, Linux, which is free, FOSS, which is freely and open source software around the world, and millions of, and so because of it being free and open source software, it is powering millions of servers, desktops, smartphones, and other devices. So, the free and open source software has led to the revolution in software industry. It being free as well as open source, its source code being available to anyone, has resulted in the fastly development of these softwares, and so software has become accessible to every person of the world. Now, now we are discussing free and open source software. What is free software? The concept of free software was developed by Richard Stallman in 1980. The concept of free software was developed by this individual, namely Richard Stallman in 1980s. The focus on what the recipient of software is permitted to do with the software. Now, in free software, the recipient of software is granted rights to copy, distribute, study, change, and improve the software. So, in free software, the recipient of the software or the user have the freedom to run, copy, distribute, study, change, and improve the software. Thus, by giving free software, companies gave the free and open source software. That means they shared source code to every people of the world, and thus led to the revolution of the software industry. Software has become much more advanced, software has become much more accessible to the people, and software has become less costly, and software is revolutionizing the entire world. Students, this is it for today's topic of open source software. Students, we will come up with another topics which will be related to your syllabus. In the meantime, let us revise these topics. Students, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.